Welcome to today's Explainer. So we're tackling a massive challenge today, the kind that literally keeps business leaders and IT directors awake at night. What exactly do you do when the very technology your company was built on starts to, well, rot? We've all seen it, right? That dreaded loading screen of a system built back in 1998. It's painful. We're going to dive right into the core concept of application modernization. This is all about upgrading your outdated tech infrastructure so it actually matches your evolving business needs. You can think of it kind of like renovating a massive, aging building. You absolutely cannot just slap a fresh coat of paint on a crumbling foundation and expect it to hold up to modern demands.
And the research on this makes one thing incredibly clear. Reaching new business heights using outdated strategies is an uphill battle. Honestly, that is putting it really mildly. Obsolete technologies don't just sit there passively. They actively block you from meeting changing customer requirements. They completely drag down your agility, and they chew up maintenance budgets like crazy. Trying to scale a modern business on legacy software, it's basically like trying to win a Formula One race in a horse-drawn carriage. It's just a fundamentally mismatched effort.
So I want you to really ask yourself right now, is your legacy software holding you back? Really take a hard look at your current tech stack. Are you dealing with system crashes every single time traffic spikes? Are your developers spending 80% of their time just patching old bugs instead of actually building new revenue-generating features? Are your operational margins stalling out because of clunky, inefficient systems? Because if the answer is yes, you're dealing with a foundation that needs immediate attention.
Here's our blueprint for today. We'll hit number 1, the legacy growth block. Then 2, 7 paths to modernization. Next is 3, the smart execution playbook. Then we'll look at a real-world transformation with FarmScent for number 4, and wrap up with number 5, why choose SparkOut.
All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, the legacy growth block, moving from obsolete to agile.
Now, the most crucial thing to understand here is that modernization isn't just some simple copy and paste job into the cloud. A true digital transformation strategy means you have to transform your current application code and your support infrastructure before you migrate a single thing. You've got to go through the system, identify the weak links, and map out a rigorous plan for enhancement. You have to fix those structural weaknesses first, because if you don't, well, you're really just moving your mess to a much more expensive modern server.
Okay, moving right along to Section 2, 7 paths to modernization, or what's known as the 7 R's of legacy system renewal.
What really fascinated me about this part is the sheer variety of methods available. There's absolutely no one-size-fits-all approach here. If we extend that house renovation metaphor we talked about earlier, encapsulation is kind of like just adding a modern extension via APIs. Recasting, that's lifting the whole house and dropping it into a cloud neighborhood. Refactoring rewires the internal walls to optimize things, while recreating is literally bulldozing the property to build a brand new smart home entirely from scratch. Then there's re-engineering, replatforming, and restoration. The path you ultimately choose depends completely on your specific tech debt and your unique business goals.
Which brings us right to Section 3, the smart execution playbook, looking closely at SparkOut's advanced software modernization process. So, how do you actually execute this safely? Step 1 is all about analyzing and targeting the highest value apps first to get that ROI. Step 2, start small. You use a phased approach so you don't boil the ocean and terrify your stakeholders. Step 3 is a huge one, shifting away from clunky monoliths to microservices, explicitly breaking them down so that one single failure doesn't crash your entire system. And finally, Step 4 brings it all together with all-in-all automation, utilizing everything as code for unmatched agility and security.
Now, if you're an executive, I'm betting 2 major nightmares are stopping you from pulling the trigger on this. First up, missing documentation. But what I learned is you can actually reverse engineer the legacy app to uncover all those coded business rules and hidden dependencies. You really don't need the original blueprints to figure out how the house was built. The second fear is operational downtime. Obviously, you can't afford to just turn your business off. The solution there is incorporating rigorous testing techniques and continuous monitoring to guarantee the app runs smoothly without disrupting your daily operations. Essentially, you can renovate while the building is still wide open for business.
Let's shift gears to Section 4, real-world transformation, FarmScent, and how they are disrupting the agricultural supply chain. You see, this whole process isn't just about writing code. It is about massive economic impact. Just look at the global agricultural supply chain. We're talking about a $5.6 trillion industry. And honestly, it was fundamentally broken, totally weighed down by legacy operations and massive inefficiencies.
The biggest problem in this industry was the intermediaries. So SparkOut partnered up with FarmScent to engineer a highly disruptive Web3 ecosystem. The main goal? connect buyers directly to farmers, and completely bypass all those traditional hurdles. By implementing this modern architecture, they permanently eliminated the 90% middleman margin. Take a second to really think about that. 90% of the margin was just being eaten up by outdated legacy supply chain intermediaries.
That's wild. And the result of clearing out that massive legacy blockage? A staggering 300% profit margin lift. By cutting out the middleman and leveraging a modernized, super transparent tech platform, the actual creators of the value, the farmers, saw their profits absolutely skyrocket. This is exactly what we mean when we say outdated tech holds back your business margins.
But it's not just abstract math, you know. The human scale of this actually blew my mind. Over 200,000 verified farmers were successfully onboarded to this new platform. A modernization project of that scale has to be incredibly stable, highly scalable, and super user-friendly to support hundreds of thousands of active users seamlessly.
Yog Shristi, the founder of FarmScent, perfectly captured the outcome of all this work. He said, "The platform they delivered didn't just work. It dismantled the intermediaries and gave power back to our farmers." That really cements the undeniable business value here. When you execute an application modernization flawlessly, you don't just get a faster app, you literally get the power to disrupt your entire industry.
And finally, we arrive at Section 5. Why choose SparkOut, the partner for your legacy to leading journey?
Look, if you're undertaking a massive renovation, you obviously need the right architect. And what really stood out to me about SparkOut's model is the outright client control. They handle all the complex engineering, from design all the way through to maintenance, but you remain entirely in the driver's seat. It's all guided by incredibly transparent processes and periodic reporting. Plus, they offer an extensible team, so it's large enough for massive projects, but still essentially agile enough to pivot whenever you need to.
And they back all of that up with some serious technical firepower, whether you need a fresh front end using React or Vue.js, a robust back end with Node.js or Python, scalable databases, or even if you want to integrate advanced next-gen tech like AI, machine learning, or blockchain, they have the exact toolset ready to replace any legacy mess with cutting-edge solutions.
To wrap up today's explainer, I really want to leave you with a question to ponder. We all worry about the cost of modernizing, right? But in a world of constant change, what is the true cost of leaving your legacy systems exactly as they are? Are you losing ground to competitors? Are you bleeding margins to inefficiencies? Modernization really isn't just an IT upgrade anymore. It is a critical business survival strategy. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope this provided a clear, structured roadmap for your own digital transformation journey.